they're not in their graves.
Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? It's me, Ryan T here, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Night Horror Theater. What's up, ghouls and gals? It's nice to have y'all back on the Ryan T Show podcast. Tonight we're going to be getting into some horror movie news, some video game news, some trailer reactions, some makeup news, oddly enough. And we're also going to be getting into some casting news. But before we get into that, let's get into some The Ryan T Show news. For those of you that follow the Ryan T Show Facebook page as well as the other social media accounts, I put on there that I am now offering the Ryan T Show podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Just search The Ryan T Show, and it should pop up on Apple Podcast as well as Spotify. Or if you want that link, you can message the Ryan T Show Facebook page, or message me on Instagram at the Ryan T Show Instagram, and I will send you that link. But now we have the audio version of the podcast now available. But if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you fucking know that already. And also, thank you for fucking listening. If you're listening right now, if you're at work, if you're fucking at home, if you're on the fucking toilet, if you're doing whatever the fuck you're doing, thank you for listening to the Ryan T Show podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, thank you for fucking watching. Fucking happy Halloween. This is going to be a Halloween themed episode, as you can tell by the title of the episode, Saturday Night Horror Theater. Alright, and also this is going to serve as the 36th episode of the podcast. That's right, ghouls and gals, we're getting up there. We're on episode 36. So without further ado, let's get into our very first news story. A news story that got me so fucking titillated, so fucking excited. It got me as rock hard as Ben Grimm, aka The Fucking Thing. And that is the Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the definitive edition, officially being announced by fucking Rockstar. After like a million fucking leaks, after like numerous fucking rumors and stuff like that, Rockstar finally bit the fucking bullet, and they were like, yeah, it's real, it's fucking happening, and it's coming out on every single fucking console, as well as PC, as well as phones. There's not going to be a fucking electronic thing that will not play Grand Theft Auto, the definitive edition trilogy. That trilogy is going to feature Grand Theft Auto 3, it's going to feature Vice City, it's going to feature San Andreas, and there's no word yet on if it's going to be a box set or anything like that, which I think it is going to be a box set. It would only make sense for this to be like sold as a package deal. I mean, it would be kind of greedy and really fucking shitty if Rockstar was just like, hey, we're going to sell these as an individual fucking pack where you're going to have to buy Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas individually. That'd be fucking terrible. That would be fucking really crappy and shitty on their part, which I don't think they're going to be doing that. I think this is going to be sold as a trilogy, and apparently this is going to be remastered and stuff like that. This isn't going to be a remake. These aren't going to be games with updated features. They're going to be the graphics are going to be improved and stuff like that. And well, actually, I think I have here that there are going to be some upgraded features, so you will be able to have some upgraded features. I think there might be like some online play and stuff like that, although they haven't mentioned that, but I think that might be the upgraded features and stuff. But yeah, I think this is really fucking awesome. Apparently this is going to be coming out later this year, and there's rumors that it might be coming out this fucking month, because the anniversary for the first Grand Theft Auto game is like at the end of the month. I think it's like October the 18th or October the 27th or something like that. So don't be fucking surprised if Tommy Vercetti and fucking the San Andreas crew fucking randomly pop up on the digital store on the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and the Nintendo Switch store. So that would be fucking awesome if that happens, and I can't wait to kill hookers and and be a drug dealer and just do crazy ass shit in Grand Theft Auto all over again. It's gonna feel so much nostalgia pumping through my veins. And to be honest with you, I never even played these actual games. Like I never played the story mode for these fucking games. Like I played the storyline for the last Grand Theft Auto game, Part 5, but that's like the only one that I remember playing the story for. Like I would literally just play like the games to literally kill hookers, kill people, get shotguns, wreck cars, kill police, get a fucking bunch of wanted stars. That's literally all I would fucking do in those games growing up as a kid. So I'll be really interested to go back and play these games on my fucking Switch because I'm buying these on the Switch. I mean, I want to play these on the fucking Go, and I don't want to play these on my phone because I hate gaming on my fucking phone, even though I have like a relatively good phone. I just don't like gaming on that. It just feels uncomfortable to me. I like gaming on my Nintendo Switch, which is granted a just oversized phone slash mini tablet, but it works for me. So I can't wait to play these games at work on my downtime. But yeah, it's going to be really awesome to play these again. Can't wait for that. Hopefully they come out at the end of the month. I'm ready to play these games. Or hopefully they come out during Christmas or something, because Santa Claus could leave these on my fucking stocking. I'm ready. Moving on to things that I am very fucking ready to see. It is the Monica Rambo solo series and the Agatha Harkness solo series. Apparently Disney Plus has a solo series for both of these characters in the works, both of which originated from the WandaVision TV show, which, as y'all remember, we reviewed every fucking episode here on the podcast. You can go and check those episodes out on the YouTube channel if you're watching these, or rather listening to these. If you're letting me violate your ear holes with my sultry voice, you could get the back catalog for the Ryan T Show podcast on the YouTube channel. And once I get everything settled and situated, I'm going to put all the back episodes on the audio on the Apple Podcast and Spotify. But yeah, Agatha Harkness and Monica Rambo are going to be getting their own solo series, not together, but separate, but still strong together. And apparently it's rumored that Agatha Harkness, who is played by Kathy Yan, is going to appear in Doctor Strange Part 2, which is titled Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And apparently she's going to come out in that movie. At least it's rumored for her to come out in that movie. And apparently that's going to tee up her Disney Plus series. And there's still some meat left on those bones, ghouls and gals. I would really enjoy to see like what's happening to her on this town that she got stranded in this weird like 1950s town that Wanda, aka now going by the Scarlet Witch, man, that name is so fucking metal. Like whenever she said it in the fucking show, she's like, "You are the Scarlet Witch." I was like, yeah, finally they fucking said it. And she got like those devil horns, and she was all satanic and heavy metal. She's like, my fucking my fucking robot husband vibrator died. I don't care about anything. Ah! I thought that was fucking awesome. I thought that was fucking amazing. So I really can't wait to check out the Agatha Harkness show. So like I said, they could really go a couple of directions with this show. It could be something that she kind of breaks out of the spell that Wanda has her in, and she's kind of like trying to break her way out of the like assimilation or whatever. Maybe she's trying to take people with her or something. I don't know, something like that. That'd be really fucking cool. Or maybe she's interacting with other villains. I don't know. They could do a bunch of fucking things. It's fucking Marvel. And as far as Monica Rambo goes, played by Tiona Paris, she's gonna appear in Nia DaCosta, who directed the Candyman movie, which was another film that Tiona Paris was in. Apparently we're gonna see Monica Rambo appear in The Marvels, which is gonna hit theaters November 11th, 2022, and she's gonna be joined by Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, who's gonna be getting her own show next year as well on Disney Plus, and that's gonna be Captain Marvel Part 2, which will of course feature everybody's favorite Karen, fucking Brie Larson, who I love. Brie Larson, I like to give her a lot of shit on the podcast, but she's my Captain Karen, you know what I mean? I love her. She's she plays that role to a T, and you have to love to hate her, you know what I mean? I love to hate her and I hate to love her. You know what I mean? That sort of fucking thing. But yeah, I can't wait for all those fucking shows. It looks like we're gonna have a lot of female-centric shows, at least in 2022, and ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm ready. I love fucking WandaVision. Apparently the Academy didn't love WandaVision. It was like nominated for like 50 million Oscars and didn't win a single fucking one. Emmys rather, and it didn't win a single fucking one. But yeah, I'm excited for these. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be really fucking interesting, and maybe fucking Elizabeth Olsen will appear in one of the shows. I mean, she's linked to both characters. Both characters appeared in the WandaVision series and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be amazing. And going back to Doctor Strange 2, that's gonna be hitting theaters March 25th, 2022. Speaking of Doctor Strange, I can't wait to fucking see him appear in Spider-Man No Way Home, which is going to be coming out like in a little bit under like 60 to 70 days, ghouls and gals. That movie's going to be hitting theaters like in December, so I can't fucking wait for Spider-Man No Way Home to hit theaters. I've been waiting for that fucking movie. I was one of those people on Twitter that was like bitching at Sony, like, where's the fucking trailer, Sony? Where's the fucking trailer, Sony? And now I feel like I want to grab him by the fucking collar and be like, we need a motherfucking trailer, Sony. We need a fucking poster. We need an official fucking poster. And they're like, you fucking dogs. We feed you a little bit of scraps and you just want more and more and more. But yeah, I'm excited for all those fucking things. Especially after that awesome, amazing mid-credit scene in fucking Venom Let There Be Carnage. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, how could you not be excited about what's going to happen in the world of Marvel/Spider-Man after seeing that fucking thing? But yeah, moving on to something that I am not sure if I'm excited about or not, and that is the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is the reboot of the franchise that Sony's doing, and it's basically, like a fresh reboot. It has nothing to do with the Mila Jovovich movies. Thank fucking God, because those movies were fucking terrible. Every single one of those fucking movies was just like fucking bad and utterly fucking terrible, and I didn't like anything that they did in those fucking movies. I mean, well, except for the first one. The first one was kind of like tolerable and stuff like that. But like after the first one, they just got progressively fucking worse. And just, and like the last one was just like the pinnacle of like the fucking worstness. Like it was just like so fucking bad that I was just like glad. And I was just thankful that those fucking movies were fucking done with already. Whoops, sorry about that. I had got a little premature trailer ejaculation there. I had the trailer go off prematurely there. I'm sorry. I swear, baby. That never happens to me. But yeah, Resident Evil Let There Be Carnage. No, I'm sorry. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is going to be in theaters this year, November 24th. I mean, the fucking marketing for this movie was like non-existent. This movie's coming out like in less than a fucking month. I mean, a little bit over a month, actually. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, they really need to get on the ball and start fucking promoting this fucking movie, because it's going to be here in a hot minute. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's check out the trailer. Let's watch it together. Let's see what Welcome to Raccoon City has in store for us. I'm going to tee up the trailer right now. All right, exclusively in theaters, November 24th. Official trailer. Oh shit. We got a badass driving on a bike. Oh shit. Who is that? Is that Claire? September 30th, 1998. Discover the ultimate evil, which it looks like is bad CGI. Hi, I'm Robbie Amell. I'm Stephen Amell's cousin. Who's this guy? Is that supposed to be Wesker? You can sit under my umbrella. Man, Neil McDonough is just like cashing every check that is given to him. Oh my god, that guy with the black hair is fucking Leon. He looks nothing like fucking Leon. I have no idea why they thought that using him as Leon would be fucking acceptable. This cast is really fucking questionable, man. Jesus fucking Christ. God damn, that CGI is even more questionable. I was just fucking kidding about the bad CGI. This looks like some PS1 type graphics. Well, I mean, I guess in that sense they're really fucking authentic, because this looks like something out of fucking Resident Evil PS1. I wonder if you're gonna see one of the trailers, like wonder if you're gonna see one of the characters like walking like into a wall. Oh, that's so annoying. Why do current horror movies try to do that thing where they try to get like pop songs and like slow them down and try to make them like creepy. It just sounds fucking stupid. Like they're using the Four Non-Blondes song, and like that doesn't even match with like Resident Evil. It goes, I wake up in the morning and I get real high and I munch on a brain and I say, welcome to Raccoon City. What do we got here? We got a motherfucker munching on somebody. Oh my god. Oh, they capped his ass. This movie looks like it's gonna be a bunch of fucking cap, to be honest with you. God damn it, I can't get over fucking how Leon looks, man. This looks like it has like a really way lower budget than the other Resident Evil movies. God damn, what was that CG? That needs a second pass. That needs a second pass very badly. I hope they do a second pass on that. Because that stands out like a fucking redhead fucking stepchild, man. I know I'm mixing up my fucking little references and sayings here, but this movie has me fucking boggled. This movie has me fucking like, what did I just fucking watch? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I know they have Robbie Amell, but could they make this like less fucking, CW looking? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is that? Again, this comes out in November 24th, next month, and I can kind of see why they haven't been promoting this all that much, because it really looks like something here. Let's check out the cast of Resident Evil real quick. Who's going to be coming out in Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City? I know we saw Robbie Amell there, who, granted, Robbie Amell looks like the only one that is perfectly cast. He looks like exactly like Leon S. Kennedy. And granted, I know the Resident Evil like franchise as a whole is like goofy as fuck. I mean, the fucking part 5 had like Leon. I mean, not Leon. Chris Redfield fucking punching fucking boulders and shit like that. So we're gonna have Kaya Scodelario as Claire Redfield, who was that redhead with the motorcycle. We're gonna have Avon Giorgio as Leon S. Kennedy, the guy from fucking Victorious. We're going to have Hannah Jo Kamer as Jill Valentine. She's the girl that plays Ghost in the Ant-Man and the Wasp. And, of course, we're going to have Robbie Amell as Chris Redfield. We're going to have Lily Gallo as Ada Wong, and she's also kind of cast pretty good. We're going to have Tom Hooper as Albert Wesker, and he kind of looks like Albert Wesker, I guess. And we're also going to have Neil McDonough as William Birkin. I don't remember him. We're going to have Nathan Dales, like the guy from fucking, what's that show fucking called? Letterkenny. He's going to play Brad Vickers. So the cast, very hit and miss. I mean, Claire Redfield doesn't really look like Claire. Leon S. Kennedy does not look like Leon S. Kennedy. Jill Valentine does not look like Jill fucking Valentine. Ada Wong looks good. Chris Redfield looks good. Albert Wesker looks good. Neil McDonough, I mean, I like seeing him in anything. Like I said, that motherfucker is just like cashing every fucking check that he's fucking getting and receiving, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's honestly nothing wrong with that at all. But there is something wrong with our next story here. And you know what I mean? I don't want to be a hater. I know horror movies are all inclusive and stuff like that, and more power to horror movies. And if something can get the attention of, like, you know, horror movies, that's fucking awesome. But this next thing right here, yeah. I think we can all collectively say that we are just tired of the Kardashians trying to bite every single facet of, like, pop culture and every single, like, culture in the fucking vicinity or in the near fucking area. And they now have moved on their fucking attention to the horror community. And, yeah. Kylie Jenner is releasing a Nightmare on Elm Street makeup line just in time for Halloween. It's going to come out on October the 12th, and the collection includes a pressed powder palette with 12 Freddy-inspired shades. As you can see, that's why she's dressed as a sort of like veiny sausage or something like that. She's dressed as her version of like Freddy Krueger. And it's going to come with a lip lacquer set, limited edition slashes, and it's also going to come with lip and cheek jelly stain. And you can expect, again, the set to hit her store at 3 p.m. On October 12th. And she let this out on her Instagram account, I think it was. I just saw like a news story, and I was like, I should talk about that. This is the set right here. interested. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, the packaging looks cool. I'm not going to be a hater. The packaging looks cool and everything looks pretty cool. It's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, do they have to, like, capitalize on every fucking single fucking thing? Like, is nothing fucking sacred anymore? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. I know I sound like a fucking total asshole, like, getting mad on the internet about, like, some fucking makeup palette that I have no fucking stake in, that I'm not going to fucking use, and I'm not going to have any fucking interest in whatsoever. But, I mean, come on. Come on. So yeah, that's happening. And speaking of other things that are happening that I'm actually kind of excited for, we're gonna have a remake for the of Hellraiser, and I'm honestly excited for this remake of Hellraiser. As y'all know, I don't like Hellraiser in general. I always consider it to be just like creepy albino man that is very like fucking horny and just like sex a lot. And yeah, that has just always been so off-putting to me, and I just like have never really like dug those movies, and they've never been something that I've like gravitated toward. But this announcement, this casting announcement, made me really like kind of be like, you know what, I could get into this. I could fucking see myself checking this out. And that is the announcement of Census 8 actress Jamie Clayton. He's going to be playing Pinhead in the new Hellraiser film that's set to premiere on Hulu Plus. The currently untitled Hellraiser film has wrapped filming, and our new Pinhead is Jamie Clayton. The role was originally played by Doug Bradley, who played Hellraiser for the majority of the Hellraiser films until they decided to not pay him anymore, and they just like wanted to cheap out and just hire any motherfucker that worked at like a Party City and it was like willing to sit in a makeup chair for like a couple of hours. So yeah, as you horror fans out there know, the Hellraiser franchise has a very assorted fucking past. Like, I mean, the last good movie was like probably the second Hellraiser movie when like it introduced like Pinhead. That's probably like the last good Hellraiser movie, and that came out like fucking 38 years ago or some fucking shit. So it's been like a really long time since Hellraiser has had like a good piece of fucking anything. Like, yeah, even though I say that I hate the Hellraiser movies, I've seen a majority of the Hellraiser movies, especially like the newer Hellraiser movies. I even think I did a review for like the latest Hellraiser movie, which was fucking terrible. I think the latest one was Judgment, and that one was terrible. It looked like it was filmed like on a Pornhub budget. It looks like if somebody filmed it like on a Nokia phone like in 1998 and just now ported it to like fucking Blu-ray and streaming services. It looks like so low rent and so lackluster and so fucking shitty that like it was honestly like a new low for that fucking franchise. And I felt bad for like watching that movie. Like I felt like dirty, like I needed to go take a fucking shower after watching that fucking movie. But nonetheless, this new Hellraiser announcement of Jamie Clayton as Pinhead has me honestly interested in the franchise more than I've ever been in like ever. Like I'm really into the idea of like Lady Hellraiser. Like that would be really fucking cool. It's better than like old creepy albino man that's very horny for fucking people. We can have hot sexy young lady that's like horny for people and death and like wants to kill people, and that's like open the box and attempt to open my box. But yeah, that would be really fucking fun. I'm really interested in that like interpretation of Hellraiser. And from what I understand, this version of Hellraiser isn't actually something that's new. Apparently they have like toys of this version of Hellraiser, and it's also been featured in some comic books. Apparently there's a character in the comic books that a female character that at one point becomes Pinhead and stuff like that. So this has been done in the comics before, or as I've been told. I've never read any of the comic books or read any of the Clive Barker novellas that the films are based off of, because again, I don't like pale horny face man. I don't like any of the Cenobites. I don't like the box, and I'm just surprised that I'm interested at all in this film. But yeah, this inclusion of Jamie Clayton really has me interested. Hellraiser, the Untitled Hulu film, has no release date at the moment, but it has already wrapped filming, and it seems as if they're already starting to like kind of market the film and kind of get the word out there. So we may be seeing a trailer very fucking soon for this film, and you can bet your fucking ass we're gonna do a trailer fucking reaction for it like we just did for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And yeah, I can't wait for that film. And going back to Resident Evil Raccoon City, I know I was really hard on that movie, but Jesus fucking Christ, how hard is it to get something that's as cool as fucking Resident Evil fucking right? I mean, it looks like they have the source material right, but fuck, that casting is just Jesus fucking Christ, it is not where it's fucking at. So there you have it, ghouls and gals. That was the news for the week. That was the horror movie news. That was the video game news. Hell, that was the news in general. Moving on to our next thing that I actually wanted to get into. I do this every fucking year. Well, I mean, this is the second year in a row that I've done it. I barely had the podcast for about 2 years, I think, at this point. But every year I like to do a kind of new, updated top 10 horror movie list. As you know, I love fucking horror movies, and I love fucking lists. And speaking of lists, I want to start doing more lists on the channel. I want to start doing like top 10 lists on the YouTube channel, and I want to start doing like kind of like coming soon to Netflix on the channel and coming soon to like different streaming service. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do on the channel. Yeah, I want to get into my top 10 horror films. It took me a while to like compile this list. I wasn't really sure like if I repeated myself or not, and I didn't want to go back and check it out again. I think on the other one I did like top 25 horror films or something like that, so I wanted to condense it down to just like 10. And I know for sure I didn't feature some of these in the other list because these are films that like I recently rewatched and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that was fucking good. I did fucking like that shit. Oh yeah, that was well directed. That was good for its time. And I'm gonna fucking warn you, there is no films that are really made from like the last 10 years with the exception of like one film. Most of these films are like 80s films and like 90s films. I'm a very like old school throwback horror fan. And it's weird to say now that 90s horror films are like old because I was born in the fucking 90s. But yeah, that's my favorite period of horror. Like the 70s through 90s is like my favorite. Not to say that the new shit isn't bad. I like some of the new horror films. Hell, there's a lot of them that I fucking like, but they're not my fucking favorites. They're just movies that I like. And we're also going to have some honorable mentions as well, but we'll get into those at the end of the list. So before we get into that list, I'm going to take a swig of my beer here, and hopefully you take a swig of your beer there if you're listening at home. Not if you're driving, though, but if you're drinking and driving, I won't tell anybody. Just kidding. I don't endorse drinking and driving, but I won't tell anybody. Just kidding. All right. Coming in at number 10 is honestly one of like the raunchier, kind of like silly, stupid horror films. And in my opinion, like horror movies work best when they're kind of silly and stupid and like campy and not taking themselves like completely fucking serious. And that's kind of like my gripe with like modern horror films. Like they want to take themselves like way too serious, and they don't want to have like a little bit of fun and kind of have like fun with like the material. And I think one of the films that did that the best is the number 10 film on my list, which is Sleepaway Camp. It was filmed in 1983, and it was directed by Robert Hiltzik. And yeah, it's a crazy fucking film. It's about these siblings. It's about a girl named Angela and her cousin Ricky, and they go to a sleepaway camp. And we find out that Angela isn't what she seems, and that there's a killer on the loose in this camp, and they're going around fucking murdering people left and right, and the bodies are piling up, and it's just such a vulgar, stupid, raunchy horror film. Like, and there's so many like good lines. Like, there's this one line where they're playing like baseball, and like they're talking shit to each other, and then one of the characters is like, "Eat shit and die, Greg," and then the other character is like, "Well, how about you eat shit and live?" And it's just like, so fucking awesome. It's so fucking cool. It's one of my favorite fucking films. It was one of my guilty pleasures until I decided I'm not gonna be guilty anymore. I fucking love Camp or Sleepaway Camp, and I'm not fucking afraid to fucking say it, even though I keep trying to call it Camp Sleepaway, even though it's called Sleepaway Camp. But yeah, this film stars Felissa Rose, and this film is fucking infamous for its final scene where we find out that spoilers if you haven't seen this movie, it was filmed again in 1983, so it's fucking old as hell. We find out that Angela, the main character, is not a woman. She is in fact a man, and we even get a glimpse of Angela's wiener. They give us a full frontal shot of Angela's wiener, and honestly, all jokes aside, I think this film was actually very progressive for its time. It had a trans character front and center, and it wasn't afraid to show it off and stuff like that, and it didn't treat it as something that was kind of like a joke. Granted, the film is like kind of campy and funny, but Angela is never the butt of the joke and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a very interesting film, and it's a very, kind of something of its time period and stuff like that. But I think if you're a horror fan and you like that sort of like slasher sort of campy thing like me, you'll really fucking enjoy Sleepaway Camp if you've never seen it. And I might even fucking put this on the Twitch channel. I want to start doing the live movie streams again on Twitch. And I think I might start it off with Sleepaway Camp. I definitely want to do one on Twitch for Halloween. But yeah, Camp Sleepaway, number 10, one of my favorite films. Crazy fucking movie. If you've never seen it, go out and fucking see it. Number 9 on the list is our newest film on the list. And it's honestly, the reason why I like it is because it's a throwback to like those 80s horror films that I was talking about that I love so much. And it just works so fucking well. It's so fucking well written. It's so well directed. And yeah, it's just a really fucking good film, and it's just so bad. It's just so sad that fucking asshole Josh Whedon is involved in it. But yeah, it's a very fucking good film. It stars Kristen Connolly, Chris Hemsworth, Anna Hutchison, Jesse Williams, Frank Kranz, Brad Whitford, and that film is Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods is my number 9 pick. Cabin in the Woods was directed by Drew Goddard, and it was released in 2012. I remember when I saw this film in the theaters. It came out right when I was finishing up high school. It was like I think a month before my birthday, and I went to go check it out, and I just instantly fell in love with it. I really fucking dug it. It's so fucking clever. It's so like creative. I mean, I haven't seen a movie to this day. It's already been almost 10 years since Cabin in the Woods has been released. To this day, that is like Cabin in the Woods. People have tried to replicate it, have tried to do it over and stuff like that, but this film cannot be replicated. It is so fucking clever. It is so fucking good. I mean, you have Chris Hemsworth playing into fucking stereotype as like that jockey hunk idiot, and it's just so fucking good. Like, it's just so fucking good. This film fires on all cylinders, and I really fucking suggest you check it out if you haven't checked it out. I mean, it's the premise. It's the premise that holds as true as time. A bunch of fucking horny fucking young people go to a cabin in the woods, and fucking shit starts to go wrong. But we later find out that there's this creepy corporation that's behind this, and it's some sort of game to appease these fucking demonic gods, and they want like the blood of like the youth and stuff, so that way they don't overtake the fucking world and stuff. And it's a very fucking wacky film. Like I said, it's very creative. I mean, it features just about like every single fucking horror creature that you could fucking think of. There's fucking unicorns, there's fucking fish people, there's vampires, there's killer hillbillies, there's killer dolls, there's everything in this fucking movie. And so I would be a fucking fool to not include this movie in my top 10 horror films. But yeah, really enjoyed Cabin in the Woods. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. But I'm pretty sure you fucking seen it if you're watching this podcast. I hope you fucking seen it if you're watching this podcast. I'm not going to shame you if you haven't seen it, but for shame if you haven't seen it. Number 8 on our list is I'm just going to be simple with this one. This one doesn't need any introduction whatsoever. It's the only film better than Evil Dead 1, and that is 1987's Evil Dead 2, directed by Sam Raimi. I love the Evil Dead franchise. I love everything in the Evil Dead franchise. I love Army of Darkness. I love fucking Evil Dead 1. I love the series. I love Evil Dead the remake. But I feel like Evil Dead 2 is Evil Dead at its most Evil Deadiest. If you would. It is the film at its best. I mean, it captures the fucking essence of that series so well. I mean, you have Ash, played by Bruce Williams, who gives his Bruce Campbell, who's playing Ash Williams, who gives probably his best performance as that character, like, since I don't know when. But I mean, like, yeah, he's firing on all cylinders. This film is just good. I mean, In my opinion, it's the best in the series. It's the first time we get to see Ash with his fucking trademark fucking chainsaw and his fucking boomstick, killing fucking deadites and, fucking finally sealing the fucking Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. I mean, it's just so fucking good. And I also think it is so fucking ballsy and so fucking clever that Sam Raimi released Evil Dead 1 and then made Evil Dead 2, which is basically a remake of Evil Dead, and just made it better. He's just like, oh no, Evil Dead 2 is literally like what a sequel should be. It's the first film, but better. We added more stuff to it. We made it better. And I just really enjoy it. It's fucking, again, it's campy, it's scary. I mean, it's brutal, it's gory, it's fun. And I mean, it's just like a testament to true indie horror fucking filmmaking. And like, these guys just literally went to a cabin in the woods and made this fucking film together, and they made an amazing fucking film, and it just stands the test of time as one of the best horror films, like, in fucking general. I mean, it works as a comedy, it works as a horror. Hell, it's so fucking good that they're still making Evil Dead stuff till this fucking day. There's a new Evil Dead movie that's set to come out now. That's a continuation of the Evil Dead franchise. So this film came out in, what did I say? When did I say that this film came out in 1987, 1997, 2007. I mean, shit, almost like 20 something years later, this fucking film franchise is still relevant in pop culture. So that just goes to show you like how fucking powerful and how fucking good Evil Dead 2 is. Yeah, so Evil Dead 2 is my number 8 pick. And my number 7 pick is going to be kind of a controversial pick. I mean, I kind of feel like a lot of people are going to be like, that's not a fucking horror movie, that's more of an action movie. And I'm here to say, fuck you, Predator is a fucking horror movie. It's a horror sci-fi action movie, and Predator is my number 7 on my top 10 horror movie list. Predator is one of my favorite films in general, but as far as horror films go, it's not my favorite horror film, but it is one of my favorite fucking films. It is just like so much machismo, so much fucking awesome, so many one-liners, and I think it's my favorite Arnold movie. And hurry up, get to the chopper, get down, kill me now. There's so many good fucking lines. And not just fucking Arnold. Like, Jesse the Body Ventura has probably one of my favorite fucking film lines of all fucking time, where he's like, I don't got time to bleed. Like, oh my god, that is just so fucking good. Like, how good is that? I cannot sing the praise of Predator, like, any more loudly than I am right now. This movie was so fucking good that it honestly can't be topped. They keep trying to top this. They keep trying to make sequels to this movie. There's even a new movie coming out for Predator that's going to be hitting Hulu. Like the Hellraiser movie, there's going to be a new Predator movie called Skulls, Predator aka Skulls, hitting Hulu Plus, and it's supposed to be a prequel film to the original Predator film, and I know it's not going to be as good as this one. There's never going to be a Predator movie as good as this Predator movie, because it can't fucking happen. This film just fucking has the bar so fucking high that no director, nobody's ever going to be able to fucking reach that fucking bar, for the simple fact that we already seen what the Predator fucking looks like. His mystique is fucking gone, and that's fine. The Predator was only ever supposed to be a one movie fucking film, and that's fucking fine. Not everything needs a sequel, not everything needs a whole universe, but they went and did that anyway, and that's fine. I like some of the other Predator movies, but they cannot top the original fucking Predator. And it's just so fucking good. It is just so fucking, it works on like 5 different levels. It works as an action movie, it works as a sci-fi movie, it works as a fucking horror film. Okay, 3 levels, but it works, okay? It works on multiple fucking levels, and it is just so fucking good. And yeah, so for that, I have to put it on my list as number 7, and I have to argue that it is a fucking horror movie. It does deserve a place in every horror fan's list, because come on, look at the fucking Predator. He is one ugly motherfucker. But yeah, Ghouls and Gals, I love that movie. And moving on to my number 6 pick, which is going to be another controversial pick, because I know everybody hates on this fucking movie, and they say that it's the worst Halloween film in the whole entire Halloween franchise. And I think you know where I'm going with this one, Ghouls and Gals, and that's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It's almost time for Halloween. I love that fucking movie. It stars the GOAT, the hunk of a man, Tom Atkins, which for some reason John Carpenter had like some sort of like, infatuation with him back in the day. He put him in multiple movies and always put him as like this hunky guy role, you know what I mean? He was like banging everybody, banging all these young people younger than him. But yeah, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is probably like my favorite Halloween film in the series, aside from like the first Halloween film and maybe the 2018 sequel. But I love this film for it just being so fucking wacky and so fucking weird and just so out there, and like it's almost as if this film is one big practical joke. Like it's almost as if like John Carpenter was just like, dude, I'm gonna fucking fake out the audience so fucking bad. They're gonna think they're coming in to watch a fucking Michael Myers movie, and that motherfucker isn't gonna be nowhere to be fucking found in this bitch. Hell, this ain't even really a fucking Halloween movie though, dude. I'm trying to go in a whole new direction. I want to make this an anthology series, and that's what this was. This was an attempt to turn the Halloween franchise into an anthology series, and we were basically going to get a bunch of different films that were just set in Haddonfield and stuff like that, and we would maybe check in back with Michael Myers, maybe, possibly, or maybe not. So that was the plan, and until this movie fucking bombed and everybody fucking hated it, they never did that again, and they automatically went back to Halloween 4, and they were like a retcon Season of the Witch, and they were just like, that movie never happened. This is the actual sequel to Halloween 2. But for those of you that don't know, hospital room emergency doctor Dan Chalice, played by Tom Atkins, and Ellie Grinchberg, the daughter of a murder victim, try to uncover a terrible plot centered around a small town mask maker called the Clover Valley Mass, and basically these masks are programmed to kill people and stuff like that, and like it's very fucking interesting plot. I mean, it's so weird and outlandish, and there's like robots, there's people that get their face blown off with lasers, there's people that get their skull filled with like fucking snakes and bugs and shit, there's kids dying and stuff like that, so it's a pretty fucking out there crazy fucking movie. Basically what's happening is this corporation wants to kill all the kids in the world, and he puts these masks on them, and he like sells them to the kids, so he's making money on profiteering off of like the death of children, which is also pretty fucking hardcore and villainous. And apparently these masks all have like chips in them, and they're all set to go off at the time that this commercial appears or premieres on the TV. And so yeah, it's a wacky premise, but it's honestly so inventive and so weird and so fucking wild that like I fucking love it, and like I'd be mad at myself if I didn't fucking include it on my horror film list for this fucking year. And I know a lot of people hate on this movie. I know a lot of people say like, well, it's not even a Halloween movie. They shouldn't even call it Halloween. They should just call it Season of the Witch. And yeah, I agree with that. But also, fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. I like this fucking movie. This is one of my fucking favorite movies. It's so fucking dumb. It's so fucking awesome. It's just the fucking best. I might even fucking watch this movie after I fucking get out of this fucking podcast. You all should watch this fucking movie after you finish listening / watching this fucking podcast. But yeah, ghouls and gals. Moving on to my number 5 pick. We're at the halfway point of the list. So let's recap. We had number 10, Sleepaway Camp. Number 9, Cabin in the Woods. Number 8, Evil Dead 2. Number 7, Predator. Number 6, Halloween, Season of the Witch. Sorry about that. I had to refresh myself. I get parched. I'm talking like a mile a minute here, so like I am getting very parched. But my next pick is number 5, which is The Creep Show, directed by George A. Romero in all the way back in 1982. The Creep Show is just fucking awesome. I love this. I love that anthology style of storytelling. I mean, I love like Body Bags. I love Tales from the Crypt. I love Tales from the Dark Side. I love Tales from the Hood. I love all that kind of shit where it's just kind of like an anthology thing where they're kind of just like telling a story, you know what I mean? A bunch of mini movies in one movie followed by like another narrative, and that's what Creepshow does. I mean, it kind of blends the two things that I love the fucking most. It blends comic books and fucking horror movies. How could I fucking not love the fucking Creepshow? And it's directed by one of the all-time greatest fucking horror film directors of all time, George A. motherfucking Romero, the godfather of the fucking zombie. And I honestly have to say, I know George A. Romero is known for his zombie movies and shit like that, but I'm not really a big fan of those. I'm sorry. You can hate me or whatever. Those fucking films are not something that I really fucking enjoy. But this is my favorite fucking George A. Romero film, Creepshow. It is so fucking well done. It is so good. It's so fucking, what would you say? Like, it has a good horror aesthetic. It has that retro horror aesthetic, and it has Stephen King, acting. Come on. And it has Leslie Nielsen in like a fucking serious fucking role where he plays a fucking murderer. It's just so fucking good. It's so fucking odd. It's so iconic. It's so fucking, to this day, it's like a breath of fresh air. They haven't been able to like do another horror anthology series, aside from Trick or Treat. Granted, Trick or Treat is pretty good too, but it pales in comparison to Creepshow. I think Creepshow is like the gold standard when it comes to anthology fucking horror films. If y'all know another horror anthology film that's better than Creepshow, feel free to let me know. But till then, this is my gold standard. Coming up next on my list is the number 4 pick, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which was made in 1986 and directed by Tobe Hooper. I like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hell, I have a tattoo of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre symbol, which is the Texas symbol with a chainsaw going through it. But number 2 is my favorite, man. Number 2 is my favorite. I like it better. It's one of those rare instances where like the sequel is better than the original film, and the second film is kind of like a conundrum because it takes a totally different fucking approach. It takes a comedic like approach that's almost like parodying the first fucking film, and like it's just so fucking good. Honestly, it gives you more insight into like this fucking weird ass fucking Sawyer family, and you get more stuff to do with like Leatherface, and like it's just so fucking good. Like the family is so fucking good in this. You have Bill Moseley as Chop Top, you have Jim Sado as Dayton Sawyer, like the patriarch, and you have Dennis Hopper as the lieutenant who's trying to find his fucking brother, and you have Caroline Williams as Vanetta Stretch, the radio DJ who is Chop Top's fave. There are so many iconic scenes in that fucking movie. I love it. The whole radio scene wherever they go in and abduct Stretch is fucking amazing. And, yeah, it's just a fucking good movie. It just fucking works. It just honestly fucking works. I really dug it, and, it's just one of those films that I can watch all the fucking time, and I can put on all the fucking time, and I always enjoy it. There's never not a time when I don't enjoy this fucking film. I know it may not be everybody's favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I think that title goes to the original one, or maybe like the fucking remake, because a lot of people dig the Jessica Biel remake, oddly enough, and that is one that I dig a lot. But my favorite one is this fucking crazy, fucking absurd, fucking parody film that is just fucking something that it has to be seen, and I hope you ghouls and gals check it out. It's something that's really fucking awesome. Coming up next on my list is, it's a little cliche, and these next 3 are going to be a little bit of cliche picks, but they're honestly like my top 3 favorite horror films. And I know they're cliche, I know they're going to be mainstream, but I honestly think they set the gold standard for horror and what horror is today. And without these 3 films, we wouldn't have like any of the stuff that we have today. And that is Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven, 1984, starring Robert Englund. Hell, y'all know what this movie's about. It follows Freddy and him saying bitch up and down everybody's fucking dreams. He's the man of not your dreams, but the man of your fucking nightmares. And it's just such an iconic role from Robert Englund, and like he is Freddy. Like we fucking saw that nobody else could fucking play that role but him, because we had fucking Jackie Earle Haley who tried to do it in the remake, and it was utterly fucking terrible, so bad that they like buried the fucking Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and we haven't heard from Freddy ever fucking since then, and I don't think we're gonna hear from him for a long fucking time, which is fucking sad, because Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my fucking favorite movies in general. It's so fucking creative, it's so fucking just well done. I mean, and this film is like it's the best in the franchise aside from like Dream Warriors and stuff. I mean, it's so creative, and for the time, it's so well done. I mean, some of the effects still like age very fucking well, and they still look very fucking good to this day. And again, just that performance from Robert Englund is just so fucking iconic. You can't beat fucking Freddy. It's just so fucking good. So fucking good that they made like a million of the fucking movies. And coming up next on the list is right here. That's right. Child's Play Part 2 is my number 2 on the list, directed by John LaFia in 1990. I honestly think that this is Chucky at his best. I mean, I think this is the whole like warehouse scene where they're like running through the warehouse and stuff like that, and he's just kind of popping up out of everywhere. Is just so good that they use that for like every single like Child's Play thing when they're like marketing it and stuff like that. And I feel like that this is just like the essence of like Chucky. Like it's just so good, so well written. It's him at the top of his fucking game, and it's so fucking good that the Chucky series that's going to come out on the 12th of this month is pretty much a direct sequel to Child's Play 2. He's back to his normal Child's Play 2 look and stuff like that, and yeah, this film is just fucking good. I mean, I don't want to say that the films went downhill from this second one, but none of them were able to be as good as this one. And so for that, I have to give this the number 2 spot in my list. I mean, I think this is probably one of my favorite films. Child's Play is one of my favorite horror franchises in general. It scared the living shit out of me when I was a kid. And I think that's just a true testament to like how fucking scary Chucky is, and how terrifying it is to have like toys come to life and have them like fuck with you and stuff like that. But yeah, Child's Play 2, number 2 on my list. I know a lot of people aren't like big fans of the Child's Play franchise, but I am. I fucking love it so much that I put it at number 2 on my list. And before I get into the number 1 film, let's do another recap. We had number 2 as Child's Play 2, number 3, Nightmare on Elm Street, number 4, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, number 5, Creepshow, number 6, Halloween Season of the Witch, Predator, number 7, number 8, Evil Dead 2, number 9, Cabin in the Woods, and number 10, Sleepaway Camp. And the number 1 film on my list, drumroll please, the number 1 film on my top 10 horror film list of 2021 is Friday the 13th Part 3, directed by Steve Miner in 1982. I honestly think that this is the film that kicked off the whole slasher craze. I mean, without Jason, without him, we don't get any of these fucking movies that came out. We don't get any of these other new horror icons. We don't get any of that. This film is just like, it's not that it's so well written. It's not that it's just so, it's not that it's like the best one. I honestly don't think it's the best film on this list. I just think it's the most iconic, the most legendary film on this list, for the simple fact that it paved the fucking way for what horror is today. It is honestly what slasher films aspire to be. Every fucking horror villain wants to be Jason. He is so fucking good that he doesn't even need to talk. He just needs to be Jason. That's all it fucking is. I mean, Jason's so fucking good that people describe other horror villains as being Jason-like. I mean, and he's so iconic that he's been replicated so many times over. He's been referenced in a million fucking things. His hockey mask is iconic at this point. I mean, he's the GOAT. Jason's the fucking GOAT. He's the fucking GOAT. That Mama's Boy is a piece of cinema fucking history, and I can't wait for him to have a new movie. I can't wait for them to do something new with the Friday the 13th franchise. I hear that the legal battle for the franchise is over, and we may be able to get a new shit. So hopefully we get to see my dude Jason back on the big screen, because Jason X and the remake or reboot or whatever can't be the last that we see of my boy Jason Voorhees. So there you have it, ghouls and gals. That is my top 10 horror movie list. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the Ryan T Show podcast. And hopefully you're tuning in on Apple Podcast as well as Spotify. And if that's not your thing, tune in to the YouTube channel. And yeah, hopefully you ghouls and gals are checking this out and you enjoyed this episode of Saturday Night Horror Theater. Like always, I'm Ryan T, and I'll see you in the next one.